I'm not saying I admire Ted Bundy. I just think that, you know, death itself as a society, people, especially the American society, they view it way too taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
for sure.
happens.
It does.
It does. It's part of life. We all die.
It's the end
Can't
of life.
escape it.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you.
The end of this life.
Yeah, it depends on what you think of. Like,
Because we don't. Do we know what happens when we die? We don't. We really don't. Nobody does. Everybody thinks. We all have our own theories, but we don't know until we get there.
I like to think of it, you know, on a scientific level as well. I mean, shit, they say that our brains and our bodies are controlled by electrical impulses. You can't kill electricity. It changes form.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, so you need electricity to power a system, right? And that's what we are in a way. We're kind of a system. When a system is destroyed, that electricity is, it dissipates. It's not going to hold the form of that camera or the phone.
No, maybe something.
But it's going to be recycled in a way. It will
exactly.
Recycle. But the question is, like, do we retain that? Will we retain a memory, or will we retain anything from when we're physical form? And I think that's the scariest point. When people die, they don't want to lose that memory of their life.
Who they are.
Yeah, who they are.
Yeah.
I think that's what the biggest thing is, because what Einstein says, like, energy doesn't dissipate, it just, changes form or whatever. Like, so obviously when we die, we're in our physical form, obviously, is even our bodies, though, we melt down and we turn into other things. So it's not just like our energy too, it's like we're completely recycled.
Yeah.
It's just like, where do we go though when we're recycled?
Exactly. I mean, and that leads you to, well, do you have a choice to go, or can you hang around, which would, apparitions or whatever.
That's where that'd be the next thing is, like, does that cause, when you die and you know you're dying, can you become a spirit and then move around, or are you trapped as a ghost where you don't know you're dead and you're just repeating the same cycle over and over? Like, everybody has different beliefs on that too, but it seems like even with all the religions and everything, there's still some kind of cohesive thing where they all kind of match up some way or shape or form.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just different wording for it, I guess. I don't know.
It's like, we should have a topic here in the future that, Nikki brought it up to you, if you remember the Indian girl.
Oh, the one that.
I believe she was Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, this little girl was born, and like, when she was like 4 or 5 or something, she looked at her parents and she flat out said, "You're not my family." And they were like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, I have a husband and kids over in this other village," and like they took.
So this is like a reincarnation.
Yeah, they took her to the village, and she was naming names and saying things that people couldn't know. Like, picked her husband out of the crowd and was like, "Yeah, there's my husband," and they were just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I've heard something very similar too, where this kid that he was saying he was a World War II fighter, and he was able to name like his whole platoon, the name of like his airplane, and like his parents didn't believe him until they started looking into it, and like he was born like the same day the guy died, not the same year, but some weird thing like that, and the kid was able to describe like everything about it, and his parents were convinced that he was the reincarnated fighter. I think the guy even had like a scar in a certain spot, and he was born with the birthmark right on that same spot where he had the scar or something.
We had run across an article like that at work where this child was like, "Oh yeah, that's me in this movie." They're like, "What are you talking about?"
And then he becomes an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "I used to be big, but now I'm not. Now I'm little. Why can't I be big again?" And
like, I had it all. Described his house with the pool and everything. Even went down. It was like very similar on the number of the address and everything. It was like, it's rock or something, or stone, or yeah, it was super interesting. But the doctors that were over the case, because they sent, of course they sent the kid to a child psychologist, because they're like, "What the hell is going on?" They noticed that the kid's memories sort of defade over time, and eventually, I guess he forgot it. I'd love to interview that kid.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe it's fresher when they're younger. The older they get, they start just making this new life, and they forget their past life. But that brings me to, like, if reincarnation is real, why would we be trapped on the planet? Like, what holds us here? Is it maybe because there's that energy around it, that it's like a bubble that contains it? Like, why wouldn't we be able to travel over the universe? Because there has to be other planets. There has to be so much other things out there. Why are we just earthbound, like here?
Who's to say they haven't?
And
I mean,
if you think about it, if there is reincarnation, our population would stay static because we would just die and be reborn.
Yeah, and it wouldn't
wouldn't
be
grow.
growth. Yeah, there wouldn't
So-
be growth.
People are coming from somewhere if it is reincarnation. Maybe some are being reborn or some are going somewhere else.
I'd like to think that people have a choice,
Yeah.
ultimately. Now, I can understand in an instance, and a lot of this ties back to paranormal theory and everything, that if you die suddenly and violently, you're stuck until
Until somebody helps you
and figure
realize
out
you're dead
that
and move
what's
on.
going on,
Mhm.
which makes absolute perfect sense, dude.
Yeah.
You know, there's like the people supposedly that haunt the Winchester Mansion and whatnot.
Oh, the one where the ladies built all those different rooms and
Yeah.
stuff to confuse the ghost of all the people that died from the guns. Or yeah.
I saw a trailer for the movie this weekend.
Oh, they're making a movie for it.
Yes, it
Yeah.
looks so good. I'm so excited about it.
I want to go there. Do they do tours for
Yes,
that?
they do.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
Absolutely.
awesome.
That'd be cool.
Can't do it after dark, from what I understand.
You can at certain times of the year.
Why
Yeah.
though? Why?
Insurance purposes.
Yeah.
Insurance purposes, and
Yeah. That's,
they firmly believe that there is something going on, which would be cool. I mean, I
Yeah.
would.
Fuck yeah.
I really want to do some overnight shit because I want to be able to.
Well, see, the thing
capture
is, like,
things.
I don't think it matters the time of the day. After going to that one place with you,
Yeah,
Jimmy, that shit happens straight up in the
Yeah,
daytime.
that
Like,
shit's
there's,
scary.
I
Is
don't,
that the baby you were that went
Yeah.
down?
the
Yeah, I saw
crowd,
that. Yeah.
and people walking behind